What if I told you that one of the most famous names in college football is refusing to give up on his NFL dream, and he's teaming up with his legendary father for one last shot at redemption? Yes, folks, Shedeur Sanders is back in the spotlight alongside his father, the iconic Coach Prime, for what might be their final attempt to convince Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski that Sheduer deserves his place under center. As Kevin Stefanski enters a crucial sixth season as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, the franchise is once again caught in the storm of quarterback uncertainty. After putting their faith and a staggering $230 million fully guaranteed contract into Deshaun Watson, the decision has unraveled into what many now call the worst deal, not just in football history, but in all of sports. Watson, age 29, is sidelined once again and will miss the entire 2025 to 2026 NFL season due to injury, leaving the Browns scrambling for answers. In Watson's absence, the Browns' quarterback room has turned into a crowded mix of hopefuls and veterans. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders are now battling for relevance, yet none have truly impressed the leadership in Cleveland. Despite the numbers, rumors suggest the front office is far from settled. In fact, recent projections by FanSided's Sayer Bettinger even predicted Cleveland selecting LSU's Garrett Nussmeier with the second overall pick in the upcoming 2026 NFL Draft. Another name floating around is Arch Manning, the highly touted quarterback from the Texas Longhorns, expected to challenge for the Heisman Trophy in the 2025 to 2026 NCAA season. With a surname that carries the legacy of Super Bowl champions Peyton and Eli Manning, Arch could very well become the most coveted prize in the next draft class. But while the media and the front office speculate, one man refuses to back down quietly. That man is Shedeur Sanders. Once projected as a first-round pick, Shedeur's stock plummeted, and he eventually went 144th overall in the fifth round. Now, despite hearing promising words from Stefansky in the early days, he finds himself buried on the depth chart, trailing behind veterans Flacco and Pickett and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel. At best, he's viewed as a developmental project, a luxury in a league, and a team desperate for immediate results. However, true to his father's spirit and grit, Sheduer is not accepting his fate lightly. Recently, cameras caught the 23-year-old working out alone at a facility nicknamed Country Prime, fully decked out in his Browns practice gear with his unmistakable number 12 jersey. A video posted to X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, showed the young quarterback putting in the extra work, his focus unshaken. And just as trade rumors begin to heat up, with Cleveland tipped to offload one of their quarterbacks before their Week 1 clash with the Cincinnati Bengals, Sheduer is doubling down. Rather than seeking opportunities elsewhere, he's embraced the challenge in Cleveland. His goal is clear: to convince Stefansky and the Browns staff that his true value lies beyond where his name currently sits on the unofficial depth chart. In a powerful statement, Sanders expressed his determination, saying, "Where I go, I'm trying to elevate the Cleveland Browns to a different level. And sometimes, when you go to a different level and you start bringing a new kind of energy, there are people in your organization who won't like that. The road ahead won't be easy. The quarterback competition is fierce, the leadership is restless, and the fan base is growing impatient. But if there's one thing history has taught us about Coach Prime and his family, it's that they don't back down from a fight." Shedeur Sanders is betting on himself one more time, with his father in his corner and the eyes of the football world watching closely. So, what do you think? Will Sheduer manage to climb the ladder in Cleveland, or is the writing already on the wall? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Get ready, football fans, because Cleveland just got called out in the most brutal way possible. The pressure's heating up in the Browns' locker room, and it's all landing right at the feet of head coach Kevin Stefanski. Former NFL wide receiver Cecil Shorts didn't hold back for a second as he openly challenged Stefanski to finally prove his reputation as the so-called offensive mastermind he claims to be. And this time, it's all about one thing: making a firm decision in Cleveland's messy quarterback situation. It all went down during a fiery segment on the Ultimate 216 show with Earl DePearl, where Shorts laid it all out on the table. He urged Stefanski to stop dancing around the decision and pick one of the team's rookie quarterbacks in the coming months, then fully commit to developing that player for the entire 2025 NFL season. No more quarterback carousel, no more uncertainty. Pick your guy, ride with him, and let him grow into the leader this team desperately needs. The conversation took a sharp turn when the co-hosts made it clear they weren't impressed with fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel or the Browns' recent acquisition Kenny Pickett. And as for veteran Joe Flacco, they admitted he's simply too old to survive an entire 17-game grind at this stage in his career. In fact, Shorts was downright passionate when he said, "Let them battle it out, choose one and ride with them, and see what they can do." I'm not big on switching quarterbacks. I hate that. Let the rookie battle all 17 games if he's healthy. Let him develop, let him get better. But then came the real gut punch. Shorts directly challenged Stefansky, repeating his name with emphasis and making it clear that excuses won't cut it anymore. "Stefansky, you're supposed to be the guru. Kevin, you're supposed to be the guru. This is what you're supposed to do." Shorts didn't hold back, demanding Stefansky step up and develop one of these young quarterbacks. Go out there and do it. If you're the guru like you say you are, if you're the guru like everybody says you are, prove it. Pick one and develop him throughout the year. Cleveland's quarterback room is one of the most crowded and confusing in the league right now. Between the veteran Joe Flacco, an unproven Kenny Pickett, and the two rookies Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, the Browns are throwing every possible option at the wall to see what sticks. Former starter Deshaun Watson also lurks in the background, still recovering from injury, but potentially re-entering the picture later in the season. Neither Sanders nor Gabriel arrived in the NFL with the label of a can't-miss prospect, but both might just represent Cleveland's best chance at finding a long-term solution at the most crucial position in football. However, the addition of Flacco into this mix sends a clear message from Stefansky and general manager Andrew Berry. They're focused on winning now, not just building for the future. The question now is whether Kevin Stefanski has the guts and the vision to finally settle this quarterback battle and prove he's the offensive guru Cleveland hoped for when they hired him. Will he pick a rookie, let him battle through all 17 games, and shape him into the face of the franchise? Or will the Browns remain trapped in quarterback limbo, switching names and missing chances yet again? Football fans, this is the moment Cleveland's future hinges on, and the NFL world is watching. What do you think? Should Stefansky gamble on Shedeur Sanders, bet on Dillon Gabriel, or play it safe with a veteran? Let us know in the comments. What if I told you the Cleveland Browns might be on the verge of making one of the most surprising contract moves in recent memory? Yes, you heard that right. A team that hasn't exactly hit the jackpot with multi-year deals lately is now rumored to be considering yet another bold financial decision. And no, this isn't about the infamous Deshaun Watson deal, though that saga still casts a long shadow over Cleveland. This time, it involves one of their young defenders, and the move could leave fans scratching their heads or possibly applauding the front office's faith, according to Dan Labba of Cleveland. The Browns are actually being tipped to make a fairly shocking contract offer to cornerback Martin Emerson Jr. Now, Emerson just became eligible for an extension this offseason and has only 1 year left on his current deal. But after a rather disappointing showing in the 2024 season, most people thought it was unlikely the Browns would open up the checkbook for him. At least not before seeing what he brings to the table in the 2025 campaign. Yet here we are with insider reports hinting at a possible deal that might not only come early, but could also carry a hefty price tag. Labba explained that this situation isn't necessarily about whether the Browns view Emerson as part of their long-term future, because it's likely they still do. The real question is how much of a commitment Cleveland is prepared to make. Are they going to lock him in as their dependable number 2 cornerback alongside Denzel Ward for the foreseeable future? Or will this be something closer to the extension they handed to Grant Delpit in 2023? That deal was viewed by many as a slight overpay, but ultimately a reasonable move for a player considered a valuable piece rather than a franchise cornerstone. To give you some context, Delpit inked a 3-year, $36 million pact with the Browns back in December of 2023. That deal raised a few eyebrows, and now fans and analysts alike are wondering if Cleveland might be willing to offer Martin Emerson even more, despite the fact that he posted a disappointing 47.9 overall grade on Pro Football Focus last season. That's not exactly the kind of performance that screams, "Pay me big money," is it? But here's where it gets even more complicated. The Browns also have to consider the future of fellow cornerback Greg Newsome II, who's slated to hit free agency next March. That adds another layer of uncertainty to the situation. Would Cleveland really commit significant money to Emerson now, knowing they'll need to deal with Newsome's contract soon too? Or will they play it safe? Let Emerson prove himself in 2025 and then make their decision once they have a clearer picture of where both players stand. Most experts believe it's more probable that Cleveland waits to see how Emerson performs this coming season before pulling the trigger on a major deal. But in the unpredictable world of NFL front office moves, anything is possible. One thing's for sure, if the Browns do extend Emerson now, it'll send a powerful message about how much faith they have in his potential, even if the numbers don't quite back it up yet. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Is locking in Martin Emerson Jr. now a smart long-term bet or a risky overpay waiting to happen? In the world of pro football, when a quarterback's career hangs in the balance, every headline, every decision, and every whisper in the league matters. But sometimes, the stories off the field can be just as intriguing as what's happening under the bright stadium lights. And right now, as Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel faces mounting uncertainty about his NFL future, it's his fiance, Zoe Caswell, who's quietly capturing attention for an entirely different reason. Stay tuned, because this is a story about ambition, beauty, and high-stakes football drama you don't want to miss. As speculation swirls around the future of rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel with the Cleveland Browns, one person who seems completely unfazed by the rising tension is his fiancée, Zoe Caswell. While Gabriel navigates what could be a career-defining year with one of the NFL's most unpredictable quarterback battles, Caswell is focusing on something entirely different: her self-care, beauty routine, and growing lifestyle presence on social media. Rather than getting caught up in the endless discussions about Gabriel's chances on the Browns roster, Caswell has been keeping her followers entertained with glimpses into her world of glamour and personal aesthetics. Fresh off building a modest but steadily growing online following, Zoe recently gave fans an intimate look into her travel day, sharing an in-flight selfie to her Instagram story as she journeyed from Oklahoma City to Los Angeles. Captioning the post, "Plain Glam OKCLA," Caswell appeared effortlessly chic, sporting a simple white tank top, a dainty gold necklace with a small circular pendant, and subtle makeup that highlighted her natural beauty. Her long, straight brunette hair flowed freely, catching the soft sunlight and accentuating her radiant complexion. But she didn't stop there. Not long after, Zoe shared a serene clip from the stunning Manhattan Beach in California, offering her followers a snapshot of pure luxury. The video showcased a pristine blue swimming pool surrounded by private cabanas, lounge chairs, and classic parasols, with a picturesque golf course and towering palm trees completing the idyllic backdrop. While football fans speculated about Gabriel's role in Cleveland, Caswell was soaking in the sun, sipping poolside drinks, and embracing her own version of victory. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel finds himself at a critical juncture in his professional football career. Selected by the Browns in the third round of the 2025 NFL Draft, the former Oregon Ducks quarterback stepped into one of the most crowded and uncertain quarterback depth charts in the league. He's competing against seasoned veterans like Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, along with fellow rookie Shedeur Sanders. The stakes couldn't be higher, and every throw, every snap, and every decision matters. The pressure increased even further when NFL Spin Zone's Sayre Bettinger projected in his latest 2026 mock draft, released on July 6th, that the Browns could select LSU's Garrett Nussmeier with the second overall pick next year. It's a prediction that casts an even darker cloud over Gabriel's future with the team. Although he's expected to have opportunities to prove his worth this season, Cleveland's quarterback plans might already be shifting before Gabriel gets a real chance to shine. Complicating the picture, the Browns hold 2 first-round picks in 2026, their own and one from Jacksonville. This means the franchise could completely reshape its quarterback strategy as early as next spring, possibly drafting a top-tier prospect without sacrificing competitive draft position. Analysts have even suggested the team might select 2 promising quarterbacks from that class, including highly touted Arch Manning from the Texas Longhorns, leaving both Gabriel and Sanders potentially without a spot. For Dillon Gabriel, the next few months are crucial. He'll need to battle not just his opponents, but the relentless business of the NFL, where careers can rise and fall in an instant. And while he fights for his football future, Zoe Caswell continues to thrive in her own lane, reminding everyone that sometimes the real power move is knowing when to stay out of the storm. So what do you think about Dillon Gabriel's odds in Cleveland? Will he rise through the ranks and silence the doubters, or will the Browns front office move on before he even takes a proper NFL snap? And how about Zoe Caswell? Do you admire her decision to stay clear of the football frenzy and focus on her personal brand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more sports drama and off-the-field stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll see you in the next one.